The election of Hillary Clinton would lead to the destruction of our country. Believe me, it will lead to the destruction of our country. If I don't win, it will be the single greatest waste of time, energy, and money. Let's hope it all boils down to winning on November 8th. Otherwise, honestly, I've wasted my time. You've wasted your time.
No, actually, we haven't. Now, there's where I'm going to differ with Trump. We've not wasted our time. I think we're going to win. I believe we're going to win. But if we don't win, nobody's wasted any time. This is a movement, ladies and gentlemen, that is going to way outlive Mr. Trump. Now, I hope he's there to see it through for 2 terms. I really do. But it's not been a waste of time. We have taken over the Republican Party. They're afraid of us because they know we stand for something and they don't. And we know we have called out their empty suits. We poked them in the suit, opened it up and find out there's nothing there but open borders, amnesty, wars, globalists, and the slave trade network. Wall Street and the bankster gangsters. We've opened it up. We've peeled the egg and it's empty. It's a shell. What Trump has done is expose the corrupt 2-party ridiculous system we have where everybody is in cahoots with everybody else at the expense of the American middle-class worker. So, Mr. Trump, I'm sorry, sir. I love you. I beg to differ. I hope you win. I think you're going to win, but this has not in any way, shape, or form been a waste of time. Nor was the Goldwater defeat in 1964 a waste of time, although many people said it was. Not in the least. This is a movement that Trump has started. You got to go back. You got to think back as a Republican right now, or a conservative, or just an American. And you got to think back to the Romney campaign and ask yourself, what the hell did that stand for? Or the McCain campaign, what did that stand for? Or the Dole campaign, or either of the Bush campaigns, or their presidencies, what did they stand for? Nothing. Except a continuation of the globalist policies to disintegrate American sovereignty at the expense of American middle-class working people, period. And there's not a dime's worth of difference, as George Wallace said in 1968, there's not a dime's worth of difference between the empty suits in these feckless 2 parties who simply favor a continuation of the establishment political elite cabal in Washington, where there are 2 sets of people, them and us. So no, Mr. Trump, no, this is not a waste of time. No, this has been the biggest political movement since 1980. And it's 2016. No, this has not been any waste of time. That's why we're going down in this election, win or lose, guns blazing. And come November 9th, either way, I'm fighting. Because we've ignited something, and eventually we're going to prevail. Whether it's November 8th or November 9th or next November 8th or whatever the date is, we will prevail. Because what this campaign has been up to right now has been an incredible shot of oxygen into the truth serum. This is a campaign about truth. This is a movement about telling the American people what is going on and how they have been lied and deceived to by a corrupt, rigged, political elite class that has no interest in anybody except themselves. We no longer, ladies and gentlemen, live in any kind of a democracy or anything else. It's all nonsense. It's like, remember the movie Wag the Dog? It's been playing out right in front of your eyes. They lie to you. They think you're stupid. I mean, they pulled this Obamacare over you with Jonathan Gruber said, oh, the American people are too stupid to figure it out. We'll just put a few ads on the air. They're on their Xboxes. They're doing stuff. They're too dumb. They'll never figure it out. Then they put in all these bailouts for insurance companies. That slipped in it. They just think you're stupid. Why do they have Obamacare? Obamacare's got nothing to do with health coverage or health care. It's a transfer of wealth entitlement program to get more votes, to transform America and to simply lock in a liberal left-wing Democrat majority of elites in perpetuity. It's just part of the plan. So no, Mr. Trump, this has not been a waste of time. I think we're going to win and you're going to continue on, but this is nothing close to a waste of time. This has been one of the most noblest, inspiring efforts that I've been involved in my whole life. And I get up every day. I don't care if we're down by 10 or down by 15 or up by 3. I get out of bed. I jump up every day because Trump and the movement has given me and millions of Americans like Tom in Suffolk, who called earlier, hope that maybe, just maybe, we can take our country back and put somebody in there who can expose the truth and tell the American people what is exactly going on in their corrupt government. You know it, and I know it. So no, Mr. Trump, this has not been a waste of time at all. And we couldn't have done it without the $100 million that you put in. Let me just explain this and why Trump's $100 million of his own money that he put in is going to go down in history as the game changer in America, either way. Because without that $100 million and without him funding his campaign, especially his primary campaign, this never happens. No one could have ever attempted to expose the rigged, corrupt Washington, Wall Street, elite, cabal, gangster, bankster, slave trade system that we have if they were depending on the money of the very people that perpetuate the corruption. Don't you get it? He would have never been able to do this because he would have been beholden, like every other candidate is, to the money that comes from the people that are in charge of the corrupt system to perpetuate it. Like all of Clinton's money, campaign money, foundation money. Jeb Bush, remember when he raised that $130 million shock and awe in his PAC? Remember that? Where'd that money come from? All this money, where does it come from? Trump dug into his own pocket and dumped in what's going to end up being $100 million, $50 million in the primaries in order to get this message out. Had he not done that, had that not happened, you never get the movement, you never get the truth, you get nothing. I mean, think about this. Think about this campaign right now for a second, absent Trump and his $150 million. What would this campaign be right now? What would it be? It would be Hillary Clinton and Jeb Bush. You would be every day watching a rigged debate that was staged between two people with false issues where there was not any difference between them. They would have made the differences up to make it look like there was some kind of a campaign. Remember the executives on Wall Street who were ecstatic when they heard Jeb Bush was going to run and they said, Jeb Bush, Hillary Clinton, we win either way. Best case scenario in the history of America. Remember that? Could you imagine what this campaign would be with Clinton Rubio, the Manchurian candidate, the little child who stands for nothing either, the puppet of big donors? Could you imagine what this campaign would be like right now? Because those were the only two candidates. Ted Cruz was never going to be the nominee. Come on, it's a joke. He'll never be the nominee. It would have been Jeb Bush. Absent Trump, you would have had Jeb Bush and Hillary Clinton. So no, Mr. Trump, no, this has not been a waste of time. No, it has not. I think you're going to win on November 8th, but if Clinton wins, we're just getting started. As tough as it's going to be, the truth, my friends, is the most powerful thing in the human spirit. The truth will motivate you. The truth will set you free. And what Mr. Trump has been able to do with his $100 million is, for the first time in a very long time, try to get to the truth. And I'm banking on the fact that we're not who Scott Original says we are. We're not too stupid to have jobs. I'm banking on the fact that Scott Original and his ilk and Randy Forbes and all these other people who are part of the corrupt system themselves, I'm banking on the fact that they're simply wrong. That Americans on November 8th are going to wake up, they're going to see this choice, and they're going to know that in order to get at the truth and to fix this, they're going to have to put somebody in there that is not part of it. That's why I still believe to this day, right now, Trump is going to win on November 8th. And I think there's a huge undercurrent of Trump voters that shows up nowhere. Even yesterday, we're on the Trump bus. The number of people who came by and whispered to me, because I got my hat on, whispered, hey, I'm for Trump. I'm voting for Trump. I don't want to tell anybody. It's a huge undercurrent of people that no one says. So, Mr. Trump, no, this has not been in any way, shape, or form a waste of time. This movement that you've ignited will live on. It'll be much tougher because Clinton will get another 10 million Democrat voters through refugees and amnesty. But no, sir. The movement, my friend, that you ignited, and you alone ignited it, will live on until we finally, somehow, some way, through the grace of the good Lord in this country, get to the truth. You're on the John Fredericks Radio Network.